Madden 26 playbooks. What are the best playbooks? What are the top 5 playbooks? They just released them on huddle.gg, and I want to break down kind of my top 5 playbooks going into Madden 26, what I'm going to be looking at day one, and what I think is, my prediction of what's going to be really, really effective in this game. Now, we are going to be going through a couple of different honorable mentions as well, some cool formations that they added. I don't start here. Shout out to Huddle GG with this little playbook tool here. If you go to the Finder, go to over to the offense, you're going to see here that we can go into kind of by formation. They've actually added a lot of different things. For example, this bunch tight end strong is kind of a unique formation where you have 4 strong and then the tight end being the only guy over there on the left side. Like, that's kind of a cool little thing here. This is only in the Texans playbook. They also have a lot of bunches, man. Bunch wide nasty, bunch X nasty, bunch tight end strong. Obviously, the world loves running bunch, and you're going to see a lot of bunch in this year's game. Now, that being said, here, let's go back to this kind of playbook finder tool. One of the other little formations that I think you kind of need to be aware of is if you go down here to the Y off trips close, this is actually the U trips formation that we've had in previous years. As you can see here, we have tight end whip, Y option wheel, kind of the beautiful U trips formation that is really in the game every single year. This is only in 3 playbooks. It's in Chargers, Falcons, and Patriots. And kind of spoiler, I believe all 3 of these playbooks are really, really good in this year's game. Kind of my honorable mention playbook is going to be the Patriots playbook. While I do think it is a really good playbook, I think there are other playbooks that actually have a little bit more to offer in terms of some of the not even just formations. They actually have a lot of really good formations. But I think just in terms of some of the plays and some of the routes that you're able to get. But as you see here, this is the Patriots playbook. I'll highlight a couple of things. The first one is this bunch offset close. It's the only formation in the game that has this. This is bunch offset. It's just basically it's like bunch offset nasty. So the only difference between bunch offset nasty and bunch X nasty is where the running back's lining up. What you're going to see here, though, is you have the double post route from a compression look. You have a short corner here. You have the wide trail post route, and then you have a stock slot fade with a mesh rebound route. That's kind of a unique route in this game. So anyway, that's kind of the main reason why. Another reason why you might want to be in Patriots is for this ace slot offset. This is going to be a big comeback this year with this play post. There is actually, in my opinion, the Raiders playbook has a little bit more to offer in terms of their ace slot offset, just a little bit more plays. But then if you look at this other for this shotgun mix, I don't know what this is, but there's some other routes there. But anyways, back to the Patriots playbook here real quick. Only other thing I really wanted to highlight in terms of like what formations is they do have this tight offset tight end, and they also have split close. So if you wanted to, kind of really be building around split close would be the main reason why you'd probably want to be in this playbook. And, you got your standard halfback wheel and some of those things. But anywho, I'm going to go ahead and move on to my number 5 playbook in Madden 25. Again, I've kind of got these in order of like what I think is actually going to be like top level, right? And again, I'm looking at this purely from a lens of like what's going to be the best and most effective, right? Not necessarily like the cutest or the most unique or the whatever, right? Like what's the most effective, right? So I do think the Commanders playbook actually has a lot of usage, and the reason why is because it has bunch strong offset and bunch tight end, and it also has a very underrated normal F close. It has trips tight end. It has tight offset tight end. And so there's just a lot of things we can kind of build around. This Y off trio offset weak is kind of similar to that like wing trio weak type of formation that's been good in previous years, but they're bunch strong offset. What's nice about it is it has some really unique motions and it has some really unique plays. You have a quarterback sweep. You have an RPO alert swing. You have a auto motion where he goes left, but then he comes back right. You have also an auto motion where he goes all the way across the formation. You have a little running back motion that's kind of unique. You have corner strike, which I think corner strike is going to be probably the most important play in this formation to have this year. It has a short crosser and a standard verticals, which you don't really see anymore in a lot of these formations. So I love that. And then this little diamond mesh short corner. I don't know exactly. That doesn't look like a short post to me, but if it is, That's going to make this even better. You also have wide trail. So you have kind of the staples. The only play you really don't have is dagger, but you do have the capability to be able to kind of quasi create dagger. What I love is the Seattle play though. The Seattle play is going to be really good. And then you also have like this motion out of a play action. You have I just think there's a lot to be not a lot of value specifically within these auto motion plays. As you see here, they're kind of primarily in the Commanders playbook, and then like I said, I love this little short post or short corner on that right side. This is kind of a unique route. It's kind of a weird play. I'm gonna have to test it and see what it's actually like in game. This is Seattle play. The only other playbook that has it is the Cardinals. And if you look at the Cardinals, they are similar to the Commanders. Does have the play flood, but it doesn't have the auto motions to the left side, and it does have the short crosser. So if the play flood is absolutely amazing, which it normally is, then that might be something. But I think in general, with the hot routes, you can kind of build flood in a way. So, anyways, and I'm going to come back to flood a little bit later, but I think the Commanders playbook is certainly a top level playbook in this year's game. Coming in number 4 on our list is actually the Chargers playbook. So it's essentially the reason why I like Chargers is I think the Chargers is probably the best playbook for like a no BS simple scheme that just works, right? It's like I'm kind of thought about this a little bit, but it's like the quickest path to good, right? Because it's very simple and it's very effective. So why is this formation? Why is this playbook good? Number one, you have a good under center red zone set. This wing slot with duo stretch, dive, and then some passing plays. Like you have a good red zone in the sense of like you have good solid running plays, right? You also have the split T, which is kind of a fun formation down there in the red zone. The really the main reason why I think is just because it has so many good duo runs in this formation or in this playbook. You have this pistol tight Y off flex with a double pass if you want to get crazy. But I just think it's really good because of this as well. I think all of these formations really blend together well, which is why I like it. It has Y off trips close, which is basically the U trip stuff. It basically has everything you would need from a Y off trips. What's really cool about that is you can audible from like your bunch to your Y off trips pretty seamlessly within this. You also have Y off trio week, Wild True Week with the big boy post here on the left side, but really nothing too crazy there. But if we go over here, this is a very good combination of Bunch Strong and Bunch X Nasty. So you have Bunch Strong with Flood, Dagger, Corner Strike, and kind of all your basic bread and butter plays. You don't have a cheat motion, but you do have a duo run. This duo run is really, really good. And then if you go to X Nasty, this is why I say they kind of blend together. You get an RPO out of a cheat motion, you get a cheat motion wheel, and then you also could have return motions or a return route off of it. And this play right here, this PA double post, is really, really good. Tight end zig, which you don't really need that anymore. But you also have this. This is a short corner. This SFT bounce mesh drive. This is a short corner, which is really valuable. You have a short corner to the left side. Like you just have some really powerful routes within this formation, and they kind of are seamless in terms of bunch X nasty to bunch strong. Pretty seamless audible. Bunch spread. Nothing too crazy here, but you do have some decent plays. And then normal wild close. Their normal wild close, not too crazy. It does have this play Y stick dig, which is kind of good against man. Motioning a wheel, nothing too wild. But really, the main reason why you would call Chargers is really because you're wanting to be in bunch strong and bunch X nasty. And you have the ability to go to U trips now. They actually have this a regular trips tight in this year, which is really cool. And this trips tight in has quarterback stretch, quarterback zone, RPO bubble, like some really. It's actually a really good trips. You got verticals, you got PA boot shot, you have PA counter go. You have this motion Z spot. This play right here is cool because it's a short post on the left, and then it's a fast table route on the right. So some really good routes there. And then this motion bench play. This is kind of to a degree similar to Oklahoma State in college football. Like this is going to be a really good. This is going to be a really good comp playbook. I'm just telling you right now. It's very, very, very well equipped to be a comp playbook. The next offense that I wanted to cover, I really like the Falcons, and the main reason why I wanted to cover the Falcons in terms of number 3 is really just because of how good I believe they're just like the formations they have in here are good. So, number one, you have single back, tight wide flex. This formation has that wide zone. This is a really good run. It's a great run to have in your playbook. You'll see here that a couple of the other books that I'm going to talk about actually have this as well. Now, if we go back to this playbook, another thing that we have in here is pistol bunch tight end with a couple of really good plays. We have a speed option. We have verticals, which great play. You just have a good pistol bunch tight end. Like got halfback zone, verts, short corner. Like you just have a really good pistol bunch tight end if you want to go to that. You also have bunch offset, bunch spread, bunch tight end, bunch wide nasty. Like you have every kind of bunch you could ever need here. In the regular gun bunch, this is a kind of a unique gun bunch because it has some of the classic plays. It has deep corner. It has verticals, Y curl, smash return. I believe it also has dig return and bench pivot. And then if you go over to the regular bunch offset, what's nice about this is you have a cheat motion out of PA. You have bench pivot, dig return, corner out dig. I believe if we come down here, you also have wide trail. This post is really important. You have a good verticals play with the speed in route. You have smash return with the nice return route on the left. You have spacing switch with the really good table route. You have a short crosser from speed dig. Like you just kind of see like these routes right here are super, super powerful. You have a standard corner. The only thing you don't have is a short corner on the bunch side. I'd love to have that, but you don't have that in this. Gun bunch spread. This is again, this is something that you might audible around to a little bit. It's not a massive use, but you could use some of these plays. You have cheat motion, slot cross, cheat flood. Maybe have this motion slot hitch with the short post on the left's kind of a cool play. But anyway. But the other thing that's cool is they added bunch tight end into this playbook, and this bunch tight end is good enough. It has RPO bubble, which is the main one you want. It also has these boomerang motions if you wanted to kind of play around with those. The other thing I forgot to say about the Commanders bunch tight end, real quick, is they have this one. They actually have a really good bunch tight end. I think I totally forgot to mention that. So if you look at their bunch tight end, they have the auto motion. They have all the runs. They have some of glitchy things, and then they also have these like motion snag with a short corner on the left. And then if you look here, they also have this motion slot skinny with a short post on the middle receiver. So some cool things can be cooked up out of that. But I just think, bunch tight end, if it was really good in college football, it's going to be really good in Madden. You got to think that at least going into it. And I do think bunch tight end is going to have a significant use, a significant use in this year's game. All right, so what play? But we were looking at the Falcons. Let me go back to the Falcons. I don't know how to get back to them. There they are. Okay, so they have bunch tight end. This is a little bit more, bread and butter bunch, but it is pretty good. And then if we go to the Falcons playbook here, the other thing they have this bunch wide nasty with this. This was kind of a nice formation they added to the game last year. What's nice about it is you have a short post on the left side. You can kind of build around with a cheat motion. You have verticals. You have return route. Right. You can kind of build a little mini scheme out of that. So it's got a lot of good stuff that you can audible to, which is always helpful. And the normal Y off close. Their normal. Oh, that's not the right normal Y off close. And then they do have tight flex. What's nice about this specific tight flex, it has some really powerful plays. It has cross, which has just been a great play for as long as I've been playing. Halfback option with the unique themes. PA post shot, really good play. And then this empty, this kind of auto motion is kind of cool as well. So they have all that stuff. They have a decent tight Y off. They have a trips formation. It's not necessarily trips tight in, but it is trips. This trips Y slot, not really something too crazy, but that is why I like that. And then they also have that U trips, the U trips stuff that you would love to see there. So again, really all three of these playbooks kind of get a mention here. Number two on our list is going to be last year's number one offense, and that is the Eagles playbook. Now, why do I like Eagles? Again, this is kind of making a guesstimate, but I do believe that in Madden, these normal wild close and doubles flex close formations are going to be really good because in college football, it's more of a bunch game because of how wide the hashes are. In Madden, it's not necessarily fully a bunch game. While bunch is still really good, I think that this normal off close is going to be a little bit better for the way Madden's going to play. Okay. So that being said, the Eagles have the best normal off close in the game. And the reason why they have such a good normal off close is because they have cheat flat X post and PA snag. These two plays in the same playbook, really important to have. You have the cheat flat motion, which is really good. You have PA snag. You have so you have a short post on the left. You have a short post on the right side. You have a fast table route and a glitchy fade to the play Y sail. Y sail is not going to be as good as it was last year, but I think it is still going to be really good. You also have a lot of other good formations around it. For example, if we come back out here to the main playbook, you see that they actually added a couple other things to this playbook. The first one being the Y-off trio close. This is the Y-off trio close in college football, and it's a little bit more expansive here in Madden. So as you see here, you have motion mesh rail. This PA power shallow cross is a amazing play with that short post on the left side. It's going to be one of my favorite plays in the game. You can just build a lot of stuff with this, man. You got the short post, you have an outside zone run, you have all kinds of good runs. You have smash return, you have the auto motion mesh rail flood with that, like just a great quick snappable play. And then you have some boomerang motions, which are kind of cool. This boomerang mesh rail is going to be a good play as well. So anyway, that is a really, really good formation to complement normal Y off close. You also have a really good trips tight end flex with the motion Y post play, which is just going to be a very powerful play. Little mini scheme from trips, motion Y post, verticals, PA shot crossers. Then if you want to run the ball, have the bubble. If you don't want to run the ball, maybe really any of these other plays, levels, sail, all of those are going to be fine. They also have gun trips tight in. What's nice about their trips tight in is it has auto motions with it. So you see you have auto motion plays here. And then you also have flood with that short tight end crosser, curl flat with just a beautiful play, PA slot corner, verticals. You just have a lot of like solid plays, man. Plays that are going to work against a lot of different things. And you have a fairly decent red zone. If you really think about the Eagles, not only can they pass the ball down here, but you have single back wing tight. This single back wing tight has a stretch, a duo, and a dive. That's really all you need in the red zone normally. And if we come down here, the other thing that they added, I think, is the stack Y off. I don't remember. Or no, this was in there last year. Actually, no, this was in there last year. But I just think this playbook is going to be really good. I'm just telling you right now, this will be one of the most popular playbooks, and it's ironically primarily just because you have these two plays in normal. That's what really separates this. By having a short post on both sides, it really helps be able to attack the entirety of the field, in my opinion. And now for my number one playbook in all of Madden 26 to start out. And I think this one is going to be good. Now, it's really this Saints playbook, another honorable mention, man. I could talk about playbooks for so much, but they have that Y off trio close. They also have what makes Saints really good. The reason I'm talking about Saints is because it's very similar to the one I want to talk about. But Y off trips nasty. That's what really separates Saints, is it has the Y off trips nasty. It also has the Y off trio close, the trips tight end flex. It has all of those good formations. But this doubles flex is really the reason why you would want to be in something like this. But anyway, if we go to Seattle, I think Seattle is a really good playbook in Madden 26. You have the tight Y off flex with the wide zone, the jet sweep, the 0-1 trap, and the zone run. So you have really good, like, what's nice about that is you could just audible to that quick. Like, you can audible from a bunch down to a tight real easy, and you can just run the ball. You also have Bunch X Nasty, and this specific Bunch X Nasty has some really good stuff. It has that wide zone again, where we can go wide zone. Like, we can have a little mini scheme to be able to audible down into some of these good run plays. It has the single back wing flex close, which has just been a great formation for a long time with that stretch run. And then as far as like red zone, you have this wing tight left with the duo, the dive. Do we have the stretch? We have wide zone. That's good enough. And there you go. I mean, so you have a really good under center. You even have like I form close, I form wing for a little bit heavier personnel. Like you just have really nice, really nice under center for the most part. And then we get into the shotgun. So the main formation that makes this a pick is the doubles flex close. It has a short corner on the right, a short post on the left. It has a short corner on the left. It has these glitchy kind of fade routes here. Short corner, short corner, short corner, right? A lot of short corners, which are really good for beating zone. And then you have PA snag, just a beautiful play that can just beat everything. It also has Y sail, and this specific Y sail is actually different than the Y sail in Eagles. It's a little bit better because that tight end's running a little bit more vertical in terms of how he's going to run his route. So while you don't have a short post from right to left, there are some other things that you have that make it a really good base formation. And then when you put it together with the rest of the playbook as a whole, you have bunch spread nasty, which this formation is really good. It has really good spacing. And you have the ability to have plays like this Z swirl in is a really good play. Steam divide is a really good play. Speed dig with that unique crossing route. Motion slot hitch with that nice short post route. Just a really good play. And then Bunch X Nasty. Their Bunch X Nasty is pretty decent. It doesn't have the motion cross post play, which you would want, but you do have smash return. You do have dig return in this as well, and this double outs with kind of a unique zig on that right side. So again, just kind of some cool stuff there. Bunch quads, not going to really call that. Deuce, not going to call that. Empty tray stack, kind of a fun formation, and you do have a pretty decent one in here. The other one is this normal flex snug, kind of a unique formation. Not too much to really talk about here today. Back to Seahawks. Spread double flex, tight base flex. Not too crazy. Tight flex weak. Kind of some good compression sets, really. Is really what they're centered around. But yeah, these motions are going to be crazy. Tight Y off. They actually have a pretty cool tight Y off with a jet touch pass, 0-1 trap, and then they do have the motion plays. Last year, which I don't see it here. Yeah, I don't see it in there. Okay, let's keep going through this. You also have a trips tight end in this, and this is a pretty good trips tight end. It has PA slot corner, RPO bubble, quarterback stretch, verticals, and verts delay. So kind of two unique ways to run verticals. So, anyways, this is good. And guess what? It has wild trio close, right? It has that wild trio close with those auto motions, the boomerang motions, the short corners, the short posts, everything you need really in this one. So this one as well. This is kind of my take for number one, and it's mainly just centered. Honestly, the crazy thing is what really put this over the top to me is the fact that this Y sail corner runs a little better than the one from normal. I'll probably personally want to be in Eagles if I can make it work, but if not, this will be kind of, I think, the top tier playbook. But really, they're going to be 1A, 1B, at least right now. But those are my top 5 playbooks heading into Madden 26.